Okay, everybody, if you're in the market for a 2026 Nissan Pathfinder Platinum, or if you're in the market for family SUVs, well, this one here is something that you should really consider because you're getting a lot of value here for your money. So let's stick around for the video and I'll get over all the details for you. And if you'd like truck and SUV related content, hit the subscribe button because I do uploads every day, sometimes 2 and 3 times a day. So, all right, let's get into the article here. Okay, so I found this article on Motor Trend. I will leave a link in the description if you want to take a look yourself at this one. So, 2026 Nissan Pathfinder Platinum all-wheel drive, first drive, better value, same driving feel is what they're saying on this article here. So, as you can see from the photos, there's quite a few photos here as well. I'll show you some of the, some of the photos of this vehicle for this Nissan Pathfinder for this year. Now, the pros here, easy to drive, comfortable, stress easing Pro Pilot Assist, not as pricey as rivals. Now, the cons, tight third row seat, fussy phone charger, somewhat sluggish transmission. So, now they say here, when they first drove the Nissan Pathfinder, we came away thinking Nissan had taken the safe, sensible approach. Instead of reinventing its three-row SUV, the company focused instead on small but meaningful improvements aimed at keeping the Pathfinder competitive, namely sharpening its style, adding useful tech, and improving day-to-day livability. Now, I'm going to just go through the video here on the website here just to give you a quick rundown of what they're showing here. It's actually a really nice looking SUV if you're in the market for a family SUVs. Now, this is the Rock Creek one. Love the color of this one, as you can take notice. But it's got a lot of options there. So as you can see the interior here as the video is coming through, nice leather stitched seats inside. It's got beautiful accent right here. The nice thing I like about the Nissans is the dash and everything. Like I also have a Rogue myself, and it's pretty well similar inside. It's got the V6 though, the Nissan Pathfinder. So I'm going to go over the horsepower and the torque here in this on this video as well. But that's just a little glimpse there for you. During the first drive, here's what they say here. They reported that Pathfinder's powertrain felt smooth and perfectly adequate for family duty, though not especially exciting and impressive. That made us curious to see how the updated SUV would perform once subject to our full battery of instrument test under the hood. The Pathfinder remains powered by the Nissan's naturally aspirated 3.5-liter V6, rated at a decent 284 horsepower and 259 foot-pounds of torque, paired with a 9-speed automatic transmission and either standard front wheel or all-wheel drive configuration. For the testing, they picked the 2026 Pathfinder Platinum all-wheel drive model and headed to the track to see exactly what this vehicle would be able to do. So, shorter stops, same-ish handling is what they're saying. The Pathfinder's handling numbers look very similar to those of the 2022 Pathfinder Platinum all-wheel drive that they tested then. The biggest improvement was braking, though, where the lighter 2026 model stopped from 60 miles per hour in a distance of 5 feet shorter than before, which is pretty good because the 2024 Honda Pilot all-wheel drive, when they tested it, it's 126 feet to stop, a full 17 feet more than the Nissan Pathfinder. For context, the 2026 Pathfinder's 109-foot number is hugely impressive for its kind of this vehicle. So it's no surprise given the test results that the Pathfinder's brakes feel strong and predictable in everyday driving. So they're also saying here, while the SUV tracked straight, a pedal effort changed noticeably after repeated hard braking. Now, the Pathfinder also Oak gripped the 2024 Pilot and the 22 Pathfinder in both, the lateral acceleration and figure eight test. It behaves much like, we've come to expect from a front wheel drive base, 3-row crossover like the Pathfinder with plenty of understeer accompanied by a fair amount of body roll. Stability control steps in when needed without being overly intrusive. Its steering feels somewhat vague, although the accuracy will no doubt be good enough to, topical daily driving situations. While the Pathfinders at the limit dynamic abilities aren't particularly engaging, they're right in line with the vehicle in its class and mission. So, still average quickness. It's got a V6, uh, 3.5 liter. Part of the progress down to the weight, our 2026 tester tipped the scales at 75 pounds lighter than the 2022 model, and a lighter Pathfinder is a slightly quicker one, as they say. The difference isn't dramatic, though, with the new SUV reaching 60 miles per hour just 0.1 second sooner. So, wouldn't really go with that. If you had a little extra cargo in the back, you're not going to see a difference. It might even be slower. So, no, we couldn't call the Pathfinder quick, but the segment rarely prioritizes outright performance. The rival Honda Pilot uses a 3.5 liter V6 rated at 285 horsepower and 262 foot-pounds of torque. Uh, the Hyundai Palisade has a 2.5 liter four-cylinder, and the dual electric motors producing combined 325 horsepower and 339 foot-pound of torque. It was 0.3 seconds quicker to 60 miles per hour for that one. Acceleration feels relaxed off the line before building steadily. Almost it's there, turbo, despite the absence of forced induction. So it's got some nice interior, though, on the Nissan Pathfinder, as you can see through the photos. Um, I think, personally, it's one of the nicer ones inside for that size of an SUV and that price point. Utility above all, Nissan's Pro Pilot Assist is one of the best driver assist systems available, and our experience using it for the Pathfinder only boasted the opinion. Much of weekday commute takes place in mind-numbing bumper-to-bumper traffic that rarely exceeds 20 miles per hour, and employing ProPilot helped to noticeably reduce our fatigue. So the cabin remains a family-friendly space. Storage spaces abound, including device slots in the first and second row center consoles and plenty of cup holders throughout. The front console also has a lower storage shelf accessible to both driver and passenger, and the deep rubberized tray above the glove box is perfectly sized for phones and small tablets. Rear doors that swing nearly 90 degrees wide make loading kids and cargo easier than in some rivals, as you can see by the photos here. It's pretty cool. The third row, however, is still tight, and its fixed seat back angle limits comfort on longer drives. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be sitting back there if you're traveling more than even probably 45 minutes, but that's me. We praised the Pathfinder's magnetized wireless phone charger before, and it's still one of the best implementations we've seen from an automaker. The downside is capability. It works best with newer phones, the iPhone 12, Pixel 10, and newer. So that's what they're saying there about tech for the phones. Is the 2026 Pathfinder Platinum worth it? Well, not surprisingly, the Pathfinder largely makes a stronger case today than it did a few years ago. Fuel economy still won't, wow you, but it's in line with other non-hybrid 3-row SUVs. This year's updates, include a 12.3-inch touchscreen, 4.3 inches larger, brings a welcome dose of modernity, while updated seat quilting and wood tone trim helps to better blend in with the class leaders, is what they're saying. Now let's get to the price. Pricing is where things get more interesting. The Pathfinder Platinum all-wheel drive that they tested started at $55,990, but skipping most options drops it closer to the low $53,000 range. That's enough to undercut comparable top trims of the Honda Pilot and the Hyundai Palisade. So, while the Pathfinder still isn't an SUV you'd buy if you're looking for excitement, that's not really the point of the model like this. And as competitors get pricier, Nissan's steady, no nonsense approach feels more compelling than it did at launch. In a segment that keeps asking for more money, that alone might be its biggest win here. So, um, yeah. So, like I say, you can tell by the photos here, it's if you're looking for a full size family family SUVs, you're in that market in that segment. Well, this may be the one for you. So, all right. So that's just a little brief here on the 2026 Nissan Pathfinder. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll talk to you in the next video. And bye for now.